Oh
guess?
gosh.
It was his second last
Uh,
season.
well, he went somewhere and then became captain.
He was on the Oilers, left, or got traded, and then was captain of this new team
What?
right away.
Right away?
Right
What?
away. So wait here, let me check what happened. Search as
Oh,
captain. Um,
jeez.
oh, he was traded with Joffrey Lupul for Yanni
Okay.
Pitkinen and Jeff Sanderson.
Oh, it had to have been Philly.
Yeah,
He was captain of Philly.
he captained Philly. Yeah, his only season captain Philly. Oh, but they were a rebuilding team.
Oh,
Oh, wait.
wow.
Smith captained a rebuilding Flyers squad to the Eastern Conference showdown against their interstate rivals, Pittsburgh Penguins, despite the fact that the Penguins won the series of Flyers turnaround from the worst team in NHL. Um, Flyers were the worst team in the NHL the year before, and then they went to the
Hmm.
Eastern Conference Finals.
That was in 2010? No,
2007, 8. Or,
oh seven, eight.
uh, sorry, yeah, 07, 08.
Oh, I didn't realize Jason Smith was the captain. That's crazy. Wow. Actually, Oilers have never, I'm just looking at it. They've never been without a captain. Like they've never done alternates or any of that. They've always had a captain.
Are you looking at the list of their captains right now?
Yeah.
Do they have any other obscure captains that you didn't know of?
Ryan Smith was captain for one game in 2014.
Oh, so like literally somebody was injured and Ryan Smith got a C for that game.
Or they might have just given it
Oh,
to him.
that might have been his last game before he got traded.
Uh,
Or no, he wasn't traded.
2014. I don't. Was he retired? Was he retired by then,
That's what I was thinking when you said that.
or did he? I thought he didn't go back to Edmonton. I thought he maybe it was just like a. Oh, he did. He went back to Edmonton and played 3 years with them. Did you know
Really?
that?
Oh, I totally forgot about that because okay, so he went Edmonton for the longest time, Islanders at the deadline, Colorado for 3 years, which I remember.
Two. Yeah,
Oh, he signed a 5-year contract. Yeah, two
2 years.
years. Got traded to the Kings.
Yeah, and then 3 years with 3 years with Edmonton, and he played like full years. And then
Oh,
he went.
he got traded back to the Oilers. I see. Interesting.
Yeah,
From the Kings. And then he
he
played with the
actually did
Warriors.
his first year. He did not bad. He got 46 points.
Uh,
Yeah, so I guess
he served as team captain his final game and also received the game's first star honors.
yeah,
And then Rexall Place had its ring that traditionally read "Welcome to Oil Country" changed to read "Thank you, Smitty" for his last game.
yeah.
Oh, so RJ Umberger was on that team that Jason Smith captained.
Oh, the Flyers.
Uh,
Look at that.
here's a couple names: Danny Briere,
Mm-hmm.
Mike Knuble,
Mike Knuble.
Scotty Upshaw,
Okay.
Simone Gagne,
So,
and
yeah,
then
okay.
Steve
So,
Downey,
oh, Steve Downey.
Darian Hatcher.
Oh, Darian. Yeah, okay.
Um,
Wow. Who was their goalie? Was it Michael Leighton?
that year, no. That year, their goalie was Martin Biron, and the backup was Arturo Ninimaki.
Oh, I remember Ninemaki
I used to
and
love
Bira.
his name.
There was a Ninemaki. There was also there was a goalie like who they who they had before all those guys. I'm trying to think. I think it started with an E. Can't remember.
Not Emery.
No, he was kind of washed up by the time I started. See if I can figure it out. Oh, so 2007 playoffs. Am I still on here?
Still on where?
Oh, I think
Oh,
my
Robert Esch.
Robert Ashe. Yeah, that's actually who I was thinking of. That's crazy.
Donald Brashear.
Mm-hmm.
Peter Nedved. Like that name.
Nedved.
Esch. Him and who's on the
Yeah,
goalie.
because Emery played for the Flyers after Ottawa. That's right.
Yeah. And
And then it
then
was Brizgalov, wasn't it?
yeah, yeah, Brizgalov, which he wasn't bad in Philadelphia. He wasn't bad in Philadelphia and
Dude,
Phoenix.
he was not. He was good, and he was one of those like backups who plays really well. Or he was
Yeah.
actually no. He was backup in Anaheim, who played really well. And then I think he was starter in Phoenix, wasn't he? And then signed a big deal in Philly, but he
Yeah,
never
exactly.
he never hit expectations. The team never because he would get lit up in the playoffs. Dude, the Flyers, I remember the Flyers versus like the Penguins every year was just shooting gallery. Fleury used to get lit up in the playoffs all the time too.
Who?
Fleury.
Fleury? Yeah, yeah. I
He
don't know
was
how he's a
he was
pretty
never
average
that
goalie.
strong.
I feel
Yeah, in Pittsburgh, he was never that great. We would always say like, "Oh, Crosby, Malkin, like they have a good enough team to score a bunch of goals."
yeah.
And Fleury just has to be good. And then like when he got to Vegas, he started like carrying and playing
Yeah.
way better. And I was like, oh,
And it was only like the 1 year that he actually carried. Like he lost his starting job to
Leonard.
several goalies along the way.
Oh yeah, for
Like
sure.
yeah, like Matt Murray's not even like the start of it. Like yeah,
Yeah, but at the time, yeah, that's right. The two runs, he Murray played better than him.
yeah, deserved
And
it,
then
right?
and then Vegas's first run, he was pretty good. But then Leonard took over. Leonard was playing better. I don't know.
I mean, he's
He
playing
played.
just as good,
He was playing just as good. Yeah.
but people were just so focused on Fleury's first year there.
Yeah. True.
There's so many players' names I see, and it's like that would be a fun one to make a hint of, but they're just not well known enough.
Oh yeah.
It'd be so tough. Although
There's
I could
some
probably just read out what teams they played for and what position.
there's players that like were so they weren't just. It's funny because like sometimes you'll see like your average kind of player that
Like
you
a
just like a
like a
a third liner grinder. It's like oh yeah, I
yeah,
forgot about them.
like an Anton Belchenkov kind of thing.
Volchenkov, yeah, shot blocking machine.
That's
But then there'll be like a player that was really good. Like they were huge for like a couple of years, then they
yeah,
just fell off.
yeah,
And you're like, oh wow, like I forgot about that player. But like at the time they were, like people that you're like a high fantasy pick, like
oh exactly, yeah. Like I
and
mean,
then they
maybe
just
not Martin
drop.
Havlat, but like pretty damn close.
Or like no, I was thinking like Chichu. Like that guy won
Yeah,
the rocket and then he just fell.
he had the best season of his life. Good for him.
Right? Like how do you score 50 goals and then not play in the league in 5 years? Like
Yeah, and bounce
That's
around teams too. Like how many? Who did he? Let's see who he played.
uh, I think
I
he
know he
got
played for
traded to.
Ottawa.
Yeah, I think he got traded. I don't know if he. Well, he definitely got traded to Ottawa. I think it was the Healy deal, maybe, and then
Yeah, for Heatley. Yeah,
which is another interesting one because he kind of fell off too.
Heatley.
Yeah, yeah,
Heatley.
from
Yeah,
long,
yeah.
like 100. Well, sorry, Atlanta first, and then like 100-point years in Ottawa,
50
and
and
then he had,
07.
and then he went to San Jose, and it was Thornton, Marlowe, Heatley, and I'm pretty sure that was a line, and it
Yeah,
was like
that line was the on the Olympic team, right?
right. That's right. And then they were supposed to like win the cup that year, and they always failed in the first or second round. That team was, yeah, they couldn't do it. And then Heatley like dropped, and then he got traded for. Didn't he get traded for Havlat and he went to Minnesota and San
He
Jose?
got he went to Minnesota. You're totally right. Hold on.
Oh, I think it might have been Havlat.
Yeah. Oh, you're totally right. Yeah, Havlat. I think it was 1 for 1.
Yeah, they were both kind of getting washed at that point. But
Yeah.
yeah, that team was they had such a good team, and I remember they always flaked in the playoffs, and it wasn't until it became Pavelski and Couture's team that they started to get to the third round.
Oh,
Because
especially Pavelski.
Pavelski's a beast, and that
Because
guy was a great playoff performer. Thornton, that's why Thornton could never carry. As soon as Pavelski got there, he was like, okay, like daddy's home, and he actually helped that team get places.
because it wasn't until after they stripped Thornton of his captaincy that
Yeah,
team actually did something.
honestly, I know. Marlowe and Thornton got stripped. Like, that's weird. And
Isn't
like, keep the fact that Boston traded Thornton in the first place, like, overrated.
well, but that was also a wild trade as well.
Super
Because
wild. He won the Hart that year. Isn't that crazy?
he won the Hart in a season he was traded.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Isn't that crazy?
Poorly inhabited the direction of the blue
I think he won the Art Ross and the Hart in '06. In '06.
Was he traded mid-season or before the season started?
He was traded mid-season, like early to mid, and he put up the same points that he was putting up with on Boston. I think actually at a slightly better pace in San Jose.
San Jose, yeah. Oh yeah, so he played 23 games, had 33 points in Boston, and then got traded, and in 58 games, 72 assists and
Yeah,
92 points.
yeah.
And then it was the next year that Chichu popped off. This
No,
06.
I think it was that. I think it was that year because he had so many assists and Chichu was just scoring.
Oh, yeah, 56 goals.
Yeah,
That's all in 50 something games after Joe
and
Thornton.
and and they lost to like Edmonton in the second round or something like that. In the first or second round, they lost to Edmonton. Yeah, because Edmonton. Okay, I remember this. That year, the Canucks missed the playoffs because they played the like it was like the last game of the regular season. The Canucks like had to win, and they didn't, and Edmonton won, and Edmonton got that eight spot. And Edmonton played Detroit, and Detroit was like all like '06. Detroit was really really good, and they somehow beat them as an underdog. And then I'm pretty sure they played San Jose, which was like the next big team. They were like the number two in the West, and then they beat them. And then I can't remember
Okay.
who. I don't
So
know who.
506 season or
Yeah,
0607?
this would
506.
be '05-06, so the '06 playoffs. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, Edmonton over San Jose, and Canucks missed by 3 points, I guess. They
Yeah,
lost to somebody who, yeah.
yeah,
Damn.
yeah.
And Edmonton, is that the year that Edmonton went on the run? Yeah, it was. Damn.
It is. So they played. I think they played Detroit in the first, San Jose in the second. I don't remember who they played in the third. And then
First, San Jose second, um,
and
wait, what do you say?
was it Anaheim?
Yeah, it was.
Oh, look at that. Anaheim would win the next year. They played Anaheim, right? And then they played Carolina. And that was a close game. Actually, Dwayne Rollison got hurt, and Ty Conklin had to play in maybe the last two games. I think maybe game six, Dwayne Rollison, he like hit his head on the post or something.
Did Dwayne Rollison just carry
He was good. Everything was kind of going. No, Fernando Pisani.
Fernando Pessoa?
He had it was this guy. He never reproduced the kind of scoring he had in the playoffs. He had an unreal playoffs, and Chris Pronger was actually on that team. Actually, another fun fact: the first penalty shot in Stanley Cup Finals history was scored by Chris Pronger.
That's so random.
Because I watched it. Yeah, I remember.
Oh,
Yeah.
this team's just a bunch of legends. So the goalie that played the most regular season games for Edmonton that year, UC Markkanen.
how
I
many
do not recognize that name at all.
how many games did he play?
He played 37. Okay, they had four goalies that played around 20 games. UC Markkanen played 37. Mike Morrison played 21. Ty Conklin played 18, and then Dwayne Rollison played 19, because I think Dwayne Rollison was acquired from the Wild that year.
Yeah, you're right. They traded. It was like a deadline deal, wasn't it?
I think so.
Which is rare. Normally, you don't see a lot of like starting goalie pickups,
Oh, exactly.
and usually they don't work out that
He
well.
was traded for a first round pick and a third round pick. It was just a couple draft picks. But Dwayne Rollison wasn't the starter in Minnesota. That was
Really?
uh, it was
Wasn't back.
2000, 2006.
I don't think it was
So
Backstrom.
I
I've
want to say
no
it's Fernandez.
Manny
Manny
Fernandez.
Fernandez.
Oh my gosh! Wow, man. Do you remember Manny Legacy,
Manny Legacy.
Detroit, and I think St. Louis?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I remember Legacy, because I think Legacy was like when I got into hockey in like 2004, 2005. Legacy was in St. Louis by then because Osgood was the starter in Detroit.
Right.
Goalies. Okay. Okay. So in 2006, Manny Fernandez and Nicholas Backstrom were the
Okay.
goalies in Minnesota.
Okay.
So where did Rolson come from? Was he like their third string goalie? Because
I thought he would have
maybe I'm looking at
been.
the wrong year. Hold on. 2005. Oh, hold on. Yeah, I think I was looking at the wrong year. Yeah, Manny Fernandez was the starter and Dwayne Rolson was the backup. He played 24 games. And
Um,
then Nicholas Backstrom, where did he come from?
he would have been right after. I think. I think he was I think he was a rookie the next year, but he was like an older rookie.
Like, oh yeah, he's 28. He Yeah, that was his first year. 28 years old, he came to the NHL
Yeah.
and then proceeded to win 23 games, 33 games, and 37 games in his first three seasons.
Yeah, he was pretty good.
His third season, he started 71 games.
Really.
That's
Jeez.
unheard of.
That's crazy. 71. Yeah, that is crazy. That's probably why he had back problems by the time he got to Calgary. Like,
He was in Calgary. Holy smokes.
yeah, he was.
Yeah, he carried that team because Minnesota was not good back in the day.
No, no, that's right.
Their leading scorer his first year was Brian Rolston.
Rolston had a clapper, I
Oh,
remember.
oh yeah. Colorado drafted his kid and then they traded him away, I think.
Oh, really? Yeah, because was he on like the cup winning team? He was, wasn't he?
Brian Rolston?
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, no, he was. He won with
the Avs. Oh, three?
no, he wasn't. He was in Boston in 2001.
Oh,
He must have won with the Devils.
oh.
I don't know, actually. I couldn't tell you. Hold on. Brian Rolston. He won the Stanley Cup with the Devils in 95.
Oh, dang.
Yeah. Because he went to he was in New Jersey, then he played in Boston for a bunch of years.
Mm, mm.
Do you remember Pierre-Marc Bouchard?
Yeah, Minnesota. Yeah, yeah, Mark Bouchard. He was like, I remember his number. I think he was like 96 or something.
96. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, Minnesota and like Wes Waltz, I think played for
Wes
Minnesota.
Balls. He
Oh,
used he would only wear one model of skate. It was a CCM tax model, like an older tax model.
yeah.
And he basically ended up retiring because they didn't make that skate anymore and he couldn't find a skate that he liked. So
Oh,
he
really?
retired. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And then Gabrick. Canucks had some good battles with Minnesota with Gabrick.
He was electric when he was younger. He just
Oh,
when
he
did his
was.
injury troubles start? That was like right at the start of his career, basically.
Yeah, yeah. He was always, but he did well because he went to New York and maybe Columbus, but he had some success with LA. He won the cup in 14.
Yeah, actually, that was one of his like that was one of the more. Yeah, he played in Columbus for a couple of years, and then LA. And LA is really the only time that he kind of like
He did well.
played played like well for a long stretch. Like he had good seasons in New York, like you're saying, but
Yeah,
like LA, he was just like so much more a team player instead of like a me player.
yeah, that's right.
Like he
Well,
was the ideal second line center for that team.
Gabrick not a center.
Or second line right wing. Sorry, is
Yeah,
what I meant. Yeah, no, you're right.
yeah,
Ottawa, the very end.
yeah. I don't know if he even played for them. Might have just been injured.
Like a dozen games, and then I think
Yeah,
that's
he
the end
played.
of his.
Yeah, he played some. Yeah, Gabrick and Dimitra was on Minnesota as well.
Piece.
And oh, there was a defenseman I used to really like. And then he was a great power play defenseman. And then there was a hit he took and he broke his femur. And I read a story about it. And he lost because the way he fractured his femur, it cut his femoral artery in his leg. So he
Oh,
actually lost like quarts of blood, and he had to get a blood transfusion. Like he says, he almost died from his injury. He had to get a blood transfusion in the hospital. Um, oh, what was his name?
was he on Minnesota?
Yes, and then he had a steel rod put into his leg. Like obviously, this is a pretty tough injury. He won. I think he won the Masterson Because he came back and signed with Tampa Bay.
Specialist
Fra-
Tampa Bay.
Fraser is his name. Fraser. Curtis Fraser. No,
I don't know why Pavel Kubina comes to mind.
no, not Kubina. Yeah, Minnesota and then Tampa Bay. Uh, he was like for a few years was like a good fantasy player because he was like a power play goal scorer.
Yeah. Masterton.
Coop, Coop, Cooping it, Kubo, Chemo was his first name, maybe? It's not Chemo Timonen. Maybe I'm getting mixed up. Kim.
Oh, Kim Johnson or something?
Yeah, it is. It's Kim Johnson, I think. Is it? I don't think. Did he play for Minnesota then Tampa Bay? I think it is.
He played for Minnesota later in his career. He was with other.
Oh, yeah, let me see. Hmm. What's the dedication award? It's the Masterson, isn't it?
Yeah, that's one that Price just won. Oh, Curtis Foster?
Yeah, there it is. Chris Foster.
I don't even remember him very well.
Yeah.
Curtis Foster. Oh yeah, he's with Tampa, Anaheim. Damn.
Oh, he only played like 1 year with. Oh no, I know there it is. He played a lot. Like yeah, Minnesota, Tampa. Oh, he bounced around. Oilers, Ducks, Devils. Holy cow!
Yeah.
Flyers.
Over in Europe for
I
a year
was,
back
I
to
was
Philly.
after. I think after this injury. Okay, I mean he didn't do that well, but he had a good year on Tampa.
Checked in the boards on today. Oh, that was one of the reasons why they changed the or that was one of the maybe not the reason why they changed the icing, but that was one of the big incidents as to why
Yeah, the no
they
touch.
changed the icing.
Yeah, he got hit and like Jerusalem.
Yeah. So I guess they changed the rule a little bit in light of Foster's injury. Um, they added the following rule for icings. Any contact between opposing players while pursuing the puck on an icing must be for the sole purpose of playing the puck and not for eliminating the opponent from playing the puck. Unnecessary or dangerous contact could result in penalties to being assessed to the offending player. Is he out with that injury?
Yeah, I remember that Still Rodman.
Like close to a year he missed, but that's actually impressive that he was back within a year.
Mm-hmm.